Everybody, and welcome to my channel. Where's my mic? Oh yeah, it's directly above. So guys, in this video we are chatting about Mars and Leo as it is written in the title. And before we begin, please make sure to go and subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment if you are a Mars and Leo or know somebody who is a Mars and Leo. Please roast them in the comment if you must, but please comment something cute. Also, please go check out my Instagram because I am active on there, as well as my TikTok, because those are other social platforms that I use to promote myself. And also, if you would like a reading, hit me up, DM me on my Instagram, and we'll get it shipped. Yeah, let's just get straight into the video. What is Mars? And then what is Leo? So as I always say in all my as I've always said in all my Mars videos, Mars is basically our fuel, the gas or the petrol that fuels our actions. Mars is the thing that helps our actions. It's the thing that backs up our actions, because it's one thing to act on something, but the reason behind and the intention behind why we're acting on something and why we're doing something, that's Mars. Mars is about intention, Mars is about what you are doing something for. Why are you doing that, And what is that action going to serve for you in some way, shape, or form? So in a lot of ways, Mars is carrying out, the obligations of our actions. You know what I'm saying? Mars is the thing that's like directing. Mars is basically kind of like, I guess in a sense, Mars is like, it could be like the thought before we act, but maybe not so much the thought, because that's more so if we do Mercury vibes. But still, Mars is really the thing that's like, why are we doing that? Why am I doing these videos? What is this video serving? What is the intention for me to get up and do this video? So that I can talk about Mars in video, and because I can educate, because that's something I want to do. But it's like, why do I want to educate? Because that's something I feel passionate about. And Mars deals with passions. Mars is about the intention. Why? Our passions and our sexual drive too. If Venus is our love language, as I always say, Mars is our hate language. Mars is how we show hate. How do I hate you? You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. That's Mars is also our anger language too. So how you react and what you do when you're angry, that's Mars. So a lot of the times Mars is the role we step into when we're agitated, or when our security has been threatened, or when our emotions has been threatened. If somebody pissed you off or somebody crossed a boundary, we usually step into our Mars sign. You know what I'm saying? If somebody made you feel uncomfortable, you step into your Mars sign. You show off your aggression, you get aggressive, and Mars is the aggression sign, it's the aggressor. That's why Aries and Scorpios have a more aggressive energy, because they are ruled by the aggressive sign. But that's also why they're not harmonious people. It's because there's no room to be harmonious when, it's just anger and aggression and passion, you know what I'm saying? But I guess passion is the more cool side of it, But yeah, that's Mars really in a broader scale, And then Leo, when we step into Leo energy, Leo is ruled by the sun. Leo's ruled by the 5th house, the house of fun and expression and, creativity and creative outlets, our hobbies and things we do for fun, Anything related with enjoyment and entertainment, that falls under the 5th house. So Leo is ruled by that, But it's a fire sign, and fire is all about passion and expression too, externalizing the emotions. And then it's also ruled, it's a fixed sign, meaning it's stubborn. Stubborn meaning consistent, rigid, in a lot of ways, but also unmovable and unchangeable, So Leos, if we put all that together, and it's also ruled by the sun, the sun is our vitality, our actions, our ego. The sun is like the biggest celestial body that we have in our solar system. You know what I'm saying? And it's also, our vitality, as I say, the energy that we have, the energy that we exude out, the I guess, self-awareness that we have. That's the sun sign, what we're aware of, what we are personally aware of, you know what I'm saying? So if we put all of those signs together, if we put the fifth house, we put fixed sign, we put fire, we put rule by the sun, we have this Leo constellation, so we have somebody who is consciously aware of their own creative outlets, consciously aware of their own awareness, really, but how consciously aware of how they can express themselves in a way that aligns with their own vision, so in a way that's where Leos and Pisces have something in common, because they both delusional bitches. They're both super delusional bitches, bro. So in many ways also, Leo, or the constellation of Leo, these are the type of people, or Leo energy rather, is very, it's dramatic also because, it's ruled by the sun, and the sun is the biggest celestial body that we have. So everything about Leo energy and how it exudes itself is large, even the more shy, quiet Leos, they get attention for even being shy and quiet, because it's still the awareness. So not only is Leo energy aware of itself and its own personal ways of expressing itself and its own ways of, exuding its creative abilities and having fun, but it's also aware of other energies that are other forms of, like, let me say, other creative ways. Like, for example, if I'm a Leo, if I have Leo energy and I'm fun and I'm bold, I'm aware of other energies or other people that are just like that, because it's a thing of like attracts like. And fire, especially when fire doesn't know how to necessarily relate, because fire burns anything it touches or comes into contact with. But if a fire and one fire can come in together, aka one expression meaning another expression, and if those two expressions can come together, then they can make a bigger expression, you know what I'm saying? So that in that sense, like, Leos can relate to people who are as expressive as them. But the only difference is that Leo energy, is still self-centered. Because as I said, we only have one sun in our solar system. Obviously, there's like a billion other suns bigger than our sun. But like, this sun is the biggest celestial body that we have in comparison to Earth, Venus, you know what I'm saying? The moon and all these other planets, So it's like the dawn of the solar system, you know what I'm saying? So there can only be one, basically. So that's why Leo is like, the issues with, one Leo being with another Leo is that, like, the clash of the egos and the clash of, like, the center stage, because also Leo rules the center stage. Leo, the fifth house especially, rules performances and theatrical plays and theatrical ways of, expressing yourself, So, that's the Leo energy. So if we put all of that into Mars, we have somebody who's very passionate, like extremely passionate, because, one thing about Mars, it likes to be in fire signs because then it gets to feel passion, and all fire signs have the common fact that they are passionate, because as I said, fire is a passionate element. It's about stimulation, but like, what's the word? I guess passionate stimulation, because every element has its own way of stimulating itself. For water signs, it's reactive or emotional stimulation. For air signs, it's mental stimulation. For earth signs, it's, sensual stimulation. And then for fire signs, it's passionate stimulation, fire, getting the passion alive, which is why a lot of fire signs like to instigate fights, just so that they can keep the fire alive, because once the fire is not there, then that's where these fire signs step into the water role, where they become a lot more passive. And fire is not meant to be passive, But anyway, as I was saying, is that with Leo being in Mars, this is somebody who's extremely dramatic. Because we have this Leo, right? Fiery, big sign in Mars. Also a fiery planet, and Leo ruled by the sun, the biggest celestial body. If we put the biggest celestial body in Mars is also a fiery, passionate, celestial body. It just expands the passion, But instead of, unlike in Aries, because Aries always, Aries are passionate, but they change passions very regularly, So they're not consistent. Aries energy is not consistent. As I said, it's very much like Gemini energy, where it's always changeable. But the only difference between Gemini and Aries energy is that Aries is cardinal. So they're just initiating new ways of how to see things. And Geminis are just, mutable. So they're, it's more so of a mental thing. They're just passionate about many different things, because it's here, there, and everywhere. But Leo's Mars in Leo, this makes somebody passionate and they know how to sustain their passion. It's similar to like having maybe, I'll compare it to maybe having like a Mars in Scorpio, where you both know how to hold in on a passion, and see that passion through. But the only difference is that a Mars in Leo will be more expressive and they will want attention for their passion, whereas a Mars in Scorpio, they'll be more secretive, where they won't want anybody to kind of know what they're interested in or even what they're passionate about, because Scorpio is still a water sign and water is private, so that's the little difference. But in terms of having in terms of Scorpio and Leo being consistent, that's one thing that they have in common, because they are both fixed signs, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the one thing they have in common, definitely. Leo, they know how to hold it on a passion and be consistent with that shit, you know what I'm saying? Mars and Leo people are passionate about being expressive. And what makes you guys angry, I've noticed even with, the people that I've been around with Mars and Leos, is that mainly what makes you guys angry is if you don't get attention. And it's so petty, it's so petty to me, and it's so funny because it's like literally like a little child, like a let me not even say a little child. Like actually low key it is like a little child, like a spoiled brat child, and like one day their parents say no to them after years of saying yes to everything, and then that one no, it just sends them into like a horrible tantrum where they just scream and throw things, and like it's just like a mess. That's literally what it is, and I've seen like Mars and Leo, when you guys get angry, it's just drama, bro. And don't let your Mars be in like the 8th house or the 1st house or like the 5th house. I don't think the 5th house would be better. I think it would be better though, but still drama though, because obviously be a double emphasis on that Leo energy. But still, having a Mars in Leo, you guys are like more Leos than sun sign Leos. Like more dramatic than a sun sign Leo, because this is what you're fueled by. You're just fueled by expressing yourself. You're passionate about expressing yourself. You're passionate about having an outlet. But the only thing is, like, with you guys have a very difficult time with giving credit to other people. And definitely you want credit. Like, if you help somebody with something, you want that person to appreciate you and, be like, oh, you did that for me. I'm so grateful. But you can't do that to other people, because you will feel like, as I say, this is a lot more intense than having a Leo sun, because with the Leo Mars, you will feel like, because you're passionate about being center stage. You're passionate about, getting the glory and the glorification, and the, what's the word? Like being the recognition for things, because that fuels your ego, because you're driven by your ego, basically. And with Mars and Leo, this heightens your ego, my darling. This heightens your ego, bro. So having a Mars and especially having a Mars in Leo, like, it's difficult for you to give recognition to other people, because in a sense that'll make you feel like you're not acknowledging your ego, and then that'll dampen your sense of self-awareness and your sense of self and your sense of pride, especially, because with this placement, god damn, your pride is very large, and that's also your downfall. That's your downfall. That's the negative side to this, is that, especially with the guys, I've noticed, not only do you have like you have temper, like a serious temper, and it's definitely hard to hide your temper, because you could be like, a Virgo sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, with this placement, or you could have all the passive signs, in your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus and your Mercury. But having a Mars in Leo, it's just you naturally just exude like an intensity, but not necessarily like a Scorpio intensity where Pluto is there, and it's kind of like, it's like, okay, let me say Mars and Leo intensity can be intimidating, but not intimidating in the sense of like, how Scorpios are intimidating because of the Pluto aspect, and because they, Scorpios, represent death in a lot of ways. And, death is a scary subject because it's the unknown and, all of that. Not like that kind of intensity. But the Leo intensity is just more so like, Leo intensity kind of just makes you feel like small in a way where you feel like you can't be on their level. It's that kind of intimidating. Like mean girl energy. But not mean girl like Scorpio, where you feel like they could possibly kill you or threaten your life seriously for a long time. Leo intensity and intimidation is more so just like making you feel like as I say, you can't reach their level. You know what I'm saying? So you guys naturally radiate that. But you're also natural leaders, I feel like with this one, because you're passionate about, being center stage. And it's easy for you to be center stage and, get attention from people, And therefore, it's easy for you guys to lead groups, because your opposite sign is Aquarius, which is the sign of, the masses, demographics, shit like that kind of vibe, So in that sense, you know how to lead the masses so that the masses, pay attention to what you have to say and pay attention to your leadership and your opinions, you know what I'm saying? So in that way, you guys can be really good, like bosses and managers and shit like that, really good at like leading a group, because not only are you funny, you're also really funny. Like Leo energy is so hilarious, bro. Leo energy, top 5 funniest people alive. I think all fire signs are just really hilarious, but it just goes back to, just that expression quality, but also like it's gonna add a double emphasis for Leos, especially because they're ruled by the 5th house, and the 5th house is the house of, expression and having fun. So they know how to make other people have fun. They know how to make other people feel good, because 5th house also represents casual dating, casual sex, just things that you do for fun, things that just make you feel good, like Halle Berry, and she's a Leo too. So that kind of thing. So Leos know how to do that, and especially like in matters of like, if let's say a Mars and Leo person is dating you, like for them to make you feel like you're having fun, it's kind of like a reflection back on them. Because when we talk about fire signs, when we talk about Aries and Leo especially, these are like really self-centered signs. These are like really just self-consumed signs. And they literally can't help it, Because once again, fire can't relate to other people. It has to always bring it back to its own expression and its own way of seeing things. So if a Mars and Leo or Leo energy is making you laugh, you're just reflecting those energies back on them, and then they true on that. You know what I'm saying? So if you have fun, they're having fun. But innately also reverse, because also Leos love to match people's energy, So if you're going to give them like disrespect, or if you're going to be weird, they're going to match that. But then they're going to take it up a notch and make it dramatic. Because with Mars and Leo, everything is dramatic with you guys. It is so dramatic. Very passionate, like, oh my god, so much drama, guys. And don't let you have a Leo sun with this, or a Leo rising, or even a Leo moon. I had a friend, I have a friend who has a moon in Leo conjuncting her Mars in Leo, and she has like a Virgo stellium. So like her energy, it's like very big and bold. Because before I even say that, like Leo energy is innately gonna make you have a larger personality, especially if it's in your moon, even in your sun. Not so much your rising. Like if it's your rising, then you may not necessarily be like a dramatic person, But if it's in your moon, you definitely are. And then if you have this conjuncting your Mars, you are definitely somebody who takes things very personally, And I know like with this, because I have a friend with this, and it's difficult for you guys to apologize and see things in any other way. It's so difficult for you guys to see things in any other way, because like I said, you guys share qualities with Pisces where you guys are delusional, but with Leo, it's like once you have set your mind up on something, because Leo is a fixed sign. And unlike Pisces aren't fixed, so they still have that changeable quality. But once a Leo Mars has fixated themselves on a vision or an idea of something, and then that's it. Then anything else that tries to come in that doesn't match that, they don't hear it, they don't see it, they can't. Like it's literally like you can't. It's like literally speaking to this pillow, bro. You can't hear it. And then in the sense, like when people don't match your ideas and your beliefs, that's also something that makes you guys angry, you know. It's just mostly a thing, like if people threaten your ego, if people threaten your sense of pride, if your pride is being threatened, you know, if your integrity is being threatened, like that makes you angry, you know. And if for some reason, you know, you can't necessarily defend yourself or you can't do something about it, then that also makes you angry too, you know, because you always want to prove to people that, like, you know, you are somebody who can do it. Like that's something that Mars and Leo literally, like, they pride themselves on, you know, like that they can do that. They don't, Mars and Leo people never want to feel like, you know, someone or a group of people is going to look at them as lesser than. Like they're not like a Mars and Aquarius, or they're not like Aquarius placements or Gemini placements or who else? Yeah, like Aquarius. I'll use Aquarius because that's the opposite sign, you know. Aquarius people, Gemini people don't give a fuck. Like whether or not they can, they can't, they don't care how people view them, you know, because they're gonna do what they do regardless. Even Aries to a large degree, you know. But yeah, these signs, they don't care about who thinks what, how they look to people, because they're gonna do whatever they're gonna do regardless, you know. Especially Gemini, because they're gonna change tomorrow. So whatever they do now, they don't really care about it. They don't care about the consequences. They don't care about how people are gonna view them. They don't give a fuck. They're just gonna do it. But not a Mars and Leo. Mars and Leo people care a lot about how people view them. You know, they care a lot about how they're perceived by other people. And that's why Mars and Leo, these are the type of people, just like, you know, a Mars and Venus and Leo to a large degree, they like to always look good, you know, be presentable, like, you know, smell good, look good. They care a lot about how they appear to other people. Excuse me. And if somebody tries to tarnish how they look, or, you know, if somebody tries to tarnish how people see them, then this is also going to send you into like a rage. But it's also a situation where your jealousy, oh my God, Mars and Leo jealousy is out of this world. It's like the same as Scorpio, but once again, at least Scorpio knows how to hide that shit. Leo is a fire sign ruled by the sun. Everything that they feel is presented out into the public, you know, and with the theatricals and, you know, the lights, the cameras and the smoke and all that shit. It's just so dramatic, you know. But it's a thing of like, whenever somebody embarrasses you, especially, it's more so a situation like you will feel like, okay, let's say you're with an Aquarius or a Gemini, and like they're just doing a whole bunch of crazy shit. Like they don't really care too much about how people think of them, right? And they're just saying and doing a whole bunch of crazy shit. Like let's say you're at a restaurant and let's say you're at a restaurant with them, right? And then a Mars or a Gemini person or Aquarius person, they just start doing weird, crazy shit, you know, just for the fun of it, because that's how they want to have fun, right? And let's say that Mars and Leo doesn't want them to do that, like, you know, because they'll be like, oh my God, you're embarrassing me, stop doing that, you know, that they'll be so mad, like they will be so mad that Gemini or Aquarius person is doing whatever that they're doing, because like they literally, Mars and Leo people cannot, they hate being embarrassed, and they can be embarrassed by anything, depending, you know, obviously depending on the Mars and Leo and what they view as embarrassing or whatever. But Mars and Leo people hate being embarrassed, you know, and they get embarrassed easily. That's why, like, even the sign after them, Virgo, like, you know, Virgo pays attention to the details, and they care so much about also how they present themselves, you know, and, you know, they care about the details of how they look, and, you know, they also don't want to be embarrassed, because when a Virgo was embarrassed, they just get so extremely critical of themselves and, you know, just super harsh on themselves, you know. So it's similar to that. Like Mars and Leos are similar to that, but the only difference is like maybe a Mars and Leo won't feel overly critical, like they won't beat themselves up. They'll just be like, dude, like, you're fucking with my appearance, and my appearance matters to me, you know, because I don't want to appear to the public as though I'm like that. Like they're very controlling. Mars and Leo people are very controlling over their image, so very controlling over their image, you know, and they don't want anybody to alter their image, because they always want to be in control of how they're presented and how they present themselves, you know what I'm saying? So the quickest way to embarrass or to make a Mars and Leo angry is to embarrass them, or to, you know, think little of them. Oh my God. Because as I say, like a Mars and Leo, they never want to feel like, they never want to, you know, present themselves to somebody as though they are less than, you know. They always want to show up and meet people's expectations. You know what I'm saying? They always want to meet people's expectations, and they always want to, present themselves as people who are capable. And then if they're ever put in a situation where they're made to feel like they're not capable, and then they start feeling low, and once again, if if you kind of kill their ego, then you're going to make them mad again. And then that anger flare up, and, that solar flare that they go through, that's kind of like an ego boost because, for them to fight for themselves, for them, it's like, yeah, I'm going to gain my pride back from you, because once again, with Leo energy, pride is very important to them. For them to keep their integrity, their pride, all of that, very, very important to them. They're not like Aquariuses, because when we talk about Aquarius, the ego is dead, like Aquarius is let me say Aquarius's ego are for the mental, like they're mentally egotistical, so they don't necessarily care about how people see them, but they care about their ideals and their opinions being respected. That's the Aquarius sign, so that's something that they share with Leo. But Leos care about the public image too. They care about that shit, bro, because the sign before Leo is Cancer, so Leos also still have that innate awareness of caring, so it's like they want to put on, it's like if people kind of if a Mars and Leo person cares about, like, they want to control how people see them, just like Virgos, just like Scorpios, just like Capricorn and Cancers to a large degree. They care about how people see them. So they want to control that, how people see them. And if somebody shifts that perspective away and tries to put them in a bad light or in a light that they can't control, then that's going to make them angry. That's the fastest way to make a Mars and Leo angry too. But as I say, men with this shit, so dramatic. Temper out of this world. Like, literally out of this fucking world. Oh my god, I cannot even. I think any, like, guys with Leo placements, just wow. Like, wow. Holy shit, bro. Just your temper is wild. Even women with this to a large degree, because I know women with this, like, there's probably a point in your life where you were throwing hands. You were throwing hands because either A, you weren't getting the attention that you felt you deserved, so then you fought for it. And that's the thing, like, you guys, Mars and Leo, you guys are willing to fight for attention. You guys are willing to fight for attention. You're willing to fight, like, physically fight too, physically fight for attention, or verbally, whatever. Whatever it is that you feel like will ignite the idea in other people's minds that you are, the Don, the superior, whatever, then you'll do that. But I know for a fact, Mars and Leo, women and men, they will fight for attention. They'll fight. If you're not giving them the attention that they feel they deserve, they're going to fight you. They're going to argue. They're going to start an argument with you, If things don't go the way that they planned in their head, they're going to fight you too. They're going to fight you, okay? Mars and Leo, if they'll fight you if you make them feel less than, or if you don't appreciate them the way that they feel they should be appreciated. And they could have done the smallest thing for you, but if you don't give them a grand, oh my god, thank you so much, you did that for me, they're gonna fight you for that, or they'll get angry about it, or they'll get somehow petty about it, and then they'll make it a whole big thing. Because one thing about Leo, everything is big. Everything is big, and it must be big. So when they're angry, it must be big. When they're annoyed, it's big. You know what I'm saying? It's large. It's larger than life, that kind of thing. So that's Mars and Leo, you guys. But yeah, fastest thing, for them to get angry is if you disrespect their or if you tarnish their image. If you don't give them the attention that they feel they need in the moment that they need it, And if you're not loyal to, because, Leos, like, they are the signs of loyalty, same as all the other fixed signs, and Capricorn too, and the water signs. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But whatever, if for them to be super pissed off at you, definitely. And also take credit. If you take credit for anything, like, because the Mars and Leo, as I say, they don't want to give credit to anybody. Like, they want everything that they've done, they want to be the ones to say, I did this by myself. I did this, and that's something that's going to get you in trouble, Mars and Leo, because the people that help you are going to look at you like, bruh, what the fuck? Like, don't talk like I didn't help you. Don't talk like I wasn't there who helped you with the equipment, who did this, Because then you'll be too quick to, forget everybody that was there for you. And then at the end of the day, when people start leaving you, and the people who helped you leave you and never want to see you again, then you'll be surprised. Like, guys, what happened? What happened? But it's because you didn't give credit where credit was due, because you felt like you didn't have to give credit because you took all the credit. You know what I'm saying? But remember that, bro. Remember that, okay? Because you don't want to lose your friends, and you don't want to lose the people that actually cared about you and wanted to see you grow. Or because you didn't know how to say thank you, and also say thank you in public. And you just took all the credit now, just because you wanted that attention, you wanted that appreciation from the masses. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Mars and Leo people, as I say, with all Leo placements, these guys are super fashion orientated, and like they know how to stabilize and see a passion through. Like, if a Mars and Leo person is passionate about one thing, and they know that this thing is going to give them attention and even possibly make them famous, then they'll stick with it. If it's music, especially music, like fashion, if you have a Libra Venus or a Libra moon with this placement, then you're definitely into fashion, or some kind of artistic creative outlet. That's definitely one thing I know for sure. Even Cancer or Pisces placements, or Taurus placements too, become super, super passionate about, like, your creative outlets with this placement. So yeah, that's Mars and Leo. That's Mars and Leo in a nutshell. You guys just very prideful, and your temper is just wild. It's wild, bro. And don't let you have like an Aries sun with this shit. Oh my God. Or a Leo sun. Or like a Leo moon or Aries moon. Ooh, it's even worse with an Aries moon. Oh my God. Oh my God. Because now you're so very controlling. But I know with this placement, Leo, Mars, controlling as motherfuckers. So controlling. But to you, you just want everything to happen according to the script of your life. And when someone doesn't obey to the script of your life, aka do everything that you feel they should do, then that makes you angry. You get pissed off when people don't follow your direction, but you don't want to follow anybody else's direction. Oh no, because how dare you, you're the queen, you're the king. How dare you? How dare they even suggest anything to you, So that's the little hypocrisy that you have. But for the most part, you guys, I know, you guys are fucking hilarious, bro. Like, on the really dope side, Mars and Leo, hilarious. So funny. Very childlike energy, that you guys exude. But it's just like a thing like, bro, you've got to chill. You've got to chill with your temper, mate. Like, not everything can go your way. Like, damn, shit. And also this thing that you have where you become jealous. Because I know Mars and Leo people are the most jealous people. Like, if somebody's getting more attention than them, they get so jealous. And then they start talking shit about whoever's getting more attention, than them. Or you just start doing nasty things to those people without realizing that that's just going to come back to you, bro. And that you're making yourself look bad, bro. And then people don't want to fuck with you. And then after the fact, then you realize, like, why do people hate me? Why do people not like me? Well, it's because you did that shit. It's because you threw a temper tantrum just because somebody was getting appreciation at the moment. And not everything was about you. Leo, Mars, and other Leo placements, Like, damn. Like, share the light. Like, oh, not, you are the star of your life. But sometimes you're going to meet other stars too. You're going to meet other suns and other planets that are beautiful and shiny, and it's going to be about them. And you just have to learn to be okay and be satisfied with knowing that in the moment it's not about you. And I know it's not going to sit well with you, but it is what it is, those vibes. So yeah, that's Mars and Leo, guys. They're just super passionate, like very passionate guys, and they can have passion just to have passion. Like, even when they speak, I know if you have like your Mars and Leo sextiling, your Venus, your Mercury in Libra, or your Mercury in Gemini, or trining your Mercury in Aries, or conjuncting your Mercury in Leo. These are loud communicators, and this is also something that you share with all the other fire and air Mercuries, where you don't know how to listen, and you speak loudly, and you like talking over people because you feel like when I talk, you all shut the fuck up and listen, especially in group settings. Because I know with this placement, it makes you naturally very aggressive. everybody with the Mars in Leo is naturally aggressive. Okay, they don't have to try too much. You are aggressive, you know. So if you have this, you know, making an aspect to your Mercury, then you're an aggressive communicator, you know. And sometimes you even know, like when you speak, it sounds like you're fighting, but that's just you passionately speaking, you know. Especially if you're around like water and earth signs who are more chill and mellow, you know, where they just look at you like, nigga, why are you yelling? Why are you yelling? You know, but to you, you're just speaking passionately at the moment, you know. So yeah, I would just say my advice is just to get around some Geminis, some Aries, some Libras, some Aquariuses, and some Sagittariuses, because these people, you know, they're more up to understand you and not like be threatened by your aggressiveness or feel like, yo, bro, like why are you doing the most, you know, right now. Excuse me. You know, they'll get you because they're like that too, you know. But yeah, guys, just chill with the temper. So anyway, with that being said, we're gonna move on now to the second part of the video, and talk about Mars in Leo through the houses. So let's start with the first. Right. So your first house represents your house of self. You know, your the relationship that you have with yourself. You know, this is the house of the I am, and the I am is really just, you know, how you treat yourself and how you view yourself. You know, this is the house where you gain and, you know, develop a lot of your personal interest, and, you know, you relate the world to yourself. You know, it's just seeing things from your own perspective. You know, this is the house of me, your relationship to yourself. So having Mars and Leo in the first house as a Leo rising, this definitely makes you someone who appears to be very angry. And if you have, actually, did I date a girl? No, I didn't date a girl like this. She had a Sagittarius Mars. But having this, what I was going to say is that, like, if you have a Mars in Leo conjuncting your rising and you have a Pluto in Sagittarius, then you naturally just exude fiery, angry energy. You just always look angry. You always look angry. But with this placement, it's a good placement in the sense that, you know, you're very passionate about motivating yourself. Like, you're very self-motivated. You have no issues with, you know, I guess initiating passion for yourself to get up and do something. Excuse me. Even though I know Leo energy can be lazy, you know, but I think what sparks you and your motivation is knowing that essentially you're gonna get attention, because it's always gonna be about that, you know. Like, as soon as you hear you're gonna get attention, then you already have passion. You know, you're already seeing the ideas of what you can do, how you can orchestrate everything and make it look pretty and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Mars and Leo in the first house, like, as I say, it's a good placement in the sense that you're very passionate about yourself. You know, you're passionate about your own personal interests, and you have no problem, you know, holding on to and being consistent in seeing your personal interests, you know, come to fruition. And, you know, you have no problem working hard to see your personal goals, you know, come to life and come to foreplay. And you are willing to fight anybody who tries to opposes your personal passion, someone who tries to introduce you to something that you should do. Once again, you know, because if somebody tells you, like, oh my god, you should probably start a YouTube channel, you know, but let's say what can I say? Let's say you are Mars and Leo and you're like a nail technician, right? But you do nails really, really well. And then somebody tells you, like, hey, maybe you should make videos of you doing nails and then post it on YouTube, you know. It'll make you angry, because you'll feel like, what the fuck? I didn't ask you about your opinion. I didn't ask you what you think I should do, you know. So it'll make you mad. Or it could be a situation if maybe, let's say, you're telling somebody about what it is that you're passionate about, and then they disagree and be like, nah, but that's whack. That'll make you angry. It'll make you angry that somebody has disagreed with you, you know, because you'll take it personally in the sense of, like, dude, you're disrespecting, you know, my personal interests. Like, why are you disrespecting my personal interests, you know? So it'll make you feel like you need to fight somebody, you know, whether it's argumentatively or whether it's, you know what I'm saying, you feeling like you have to like detach yourself away from that person. You know what I'm saying? But there's gonna be an opposition, and you're gonna be stubborn towards hearing anybody else's opinion on what you should be personally interested in. You know what I'm saying? But definitely this makes you very passionate about yourself, your own personal interests. But it also makes you very selfish too, like even more selfish, just like Mars and Aries in the first house. It just makes you extremely selfish and self-centered, where you also don't care enough to listen to what other people are passionate about, unless you guys are passionate about the same thing, but even then you will feel like, no, let me talk about how I'm passionate about it and why I'm passionate about it, and then you can add on, but me though, this is how I feel about this shit, you know what I'm saying, like that type of situation. So yeah, with this placement, it just makes you even more selfish, and makes you very dramatic. Personally, a very dramatic person, but also very fun. Like you're very, very, very fun. But I think just the way that you express your personality can be very aggressive. And then people, I know you already have people who just hate you because they'll just feel like, dude, why are you always, ooh, shit, my bad. They'll just feel like, dude, why is this person always doing shit for attention? Like, why are you always doing the most?
Why is this bitch doing the most right now? Like, I don't understand.
This bitch do the most. Bitch do the most. They'll just feel like, you do the most. But to you, you'll just be like, no, this is how I am. Like, this is how I express myself personally. So why are you guys being weird? Why are you being weird to me? That situation. But yeah, Mars and Leo people in the first house, you guys just have like an over awareness of all the things that you're passionately, invested in, and you like to see all those goals come to fruition, because essentially that's you praising yourself, So yeah, that's Mars and Leo in the first house. And then Mars and Leo in the second house. So second house, we know, represents, your value systems, your materials, your possessions, your assets, everything that you value. So this could also be teachings that you value, that you grew up with from home, So having Mars and Leo in your second house, Mars doesn't like the second house, right? But how it plays out with Leo, I feel like you also somebody, you will feel like in order for you to first express your passion, you will feel like first you need to have, I feel like this definitely makes you somebody who would prefer to, be on social media, because you'll feel like, okay, in order for me to express how amazing I am and express my talents and express my creative outlets, you'll feel like, okay, first I need to have a platform in order to, express this with, aka having a possession in order to support your passion. Because having Mars in the second house, Mars doesn't like the second house, because as I always say, Mars in the second house, Mars feels like, it feels like it needs to rely on things in order to preserve its passion, as opposed to just having a passion and expressing it without feeling the need to rely on things or people or the opinions of others, What the fuck is this? Anyway, I just saw my scarf. Like, what the fuck? When did this happen? Yep. Anyway, but yeah, that's Mars and Leo in the second house, right? Mars doesn't like the second house because it feels like it has to rely on too many things in order to preserve its passion. But in that sense, it's also helpful, especially with Mars and Leo in the second house, because here you'll feel like, okay, in order for me to, as I said, in order for me to preserve my passion, and in order for me to, cater to my passion, I first need to have, a phone so I can record myself, so that I can, put myself out there, You'll feel like, okay, before I go out and express myself, I need to have nice clothes. I need to have nice shoes, because this definitely will make you the more materialistic Leo Mars, But you'll feel like, okay, in order for me to even present myself out, I need to have nice clothes. I need to have money. I need to have a beautiful girl, beautiful boy. You know what I'm saying? All of that. You feel like you need to have a whole bunch of things in order to properly express yourself, outwardly. And then when you don't have these things, it'll make you feel like really it'll like hinder your ego a lot, you know, because you'll feel like shit. Now I can't really I can't already put in the mind to other people that they should look at me in, you know, in the way that I want to be seen, aka somebody who has money, aka somebody who's rich, aka somebody who, you know, is financially stable, because this is the second house. This is the house of stability. This is the house of how you gain money. So you don't want to feel like, you know, you don't want to be, you'll feel like for you to even have a passion, or for you to even passionately express yourself, you'll feel like you have to have these clothes, money, jewelry, all of those things in order to support your passion, in order to support your ego, in order to support, you know, your I guess, dramatic, grandiose self-expression and self-awareness, you know, shit like that. You'll feel like you need to have all these things, you know, and then when you don't have these things, it like literally makes you feel iffy and feel bad. So you would rather stay at home if you don't have anything to show. Because I feel like with Mars and Leo in the second house, you're just passionate about showing off the things that you have. You're just passionate about flexing, bro. That's big. This is big flex energy, bro. And I feel like with this, it will make you, you know, someone who is lucrative, because having second house placements does make you more aware and conscious of how to gain money. So I feel like with this, it's definitely gonna, you know, push you up or not, you know. But yeah, you don't ever want to be seen as somebody who doesn't or can't get it, you know, because that'll make you feel iffy, and then you'll be the type of Leo to, you know, you'll do whatever it is you can in order to present yourself to people that you are somebody who can do it, you know. And then what makes you angry is if somebody, you know, in the public first advertises, you know, that, hey, look at that Mars and Leo in the second house, they don't have nice shoes, like that type of shit, that'll make you angry. You know, first it'll damage your ego, but then that'll make you angry too, you know. So yeah, and then what turns you on, something that I didn't mention, but yeah, in the video, is that, you know, Mars and Leo, all of you guys are all turned on by appreciation, you know. You're turned on by other passionate people. But the way that you like to have sex, you know, is also, what's the word? It's like dramatic also. And you'll feel like in order for you to be sexual, you need to, you know, have sex on a nice bed, on a nice, you know, designer bed with designer sheets that smell good from Versace, you know, whatever, like that'll turn you on. Or like if you're a woman with this and a guy promises you that they'll do these things for you, then that's what turns you on, you know, because you're sexually attracted to resources, money, you know, and people who flex. Like you like flexing, and that's what turns you on, bro. On some real shit. You know. So anyway, moving on to Mars and Leo in the third house now. So third house rules, you know, your friends, your environment, your siblings, you know, how you interact with your environment and the things that are in your environment, right? So having Mars and Leo in your third house, this is somebody who's passionate not only about communicating, you know, because this is like similar to having like a Mercury in Leo, high key. So this is somebody who's like, hey, you get a lot of, you probably could be like the last born child, or the child that gets, or the sibling, let me say, that gets most of the attention from your mom and your dad. You know, I'll say the same thing with Mars and Leo in the fourth house too, or just even having Leo in your third or your fourth house. This makes you somebody who gains a lot of attention, from your family members, or you're like the friend in the group where, you know, people like they look towards you for direction. Like you're low-key the boss of the group, you know, whether it's spoken of or unspoken of, but like you're low-key the one directing, you know, the group and the group's decisions and what the group should do and all of that shit, you know. But as far as like Mars and Leo in the third house, I feel like you're motivated by like communicating. Like you like directing people, especially your friends, you know, as I say, like you're motivated by directing your friends, and you're motivated by expressing your opinions, you know, because the third house is an air house, you know, and air is dealing with interactions with humans, aka people, you know. So you're passionate about not only communicating your opinions, but also, you know, directing people with your words and telling people what to do, that kind of shit, you know. So Mars and Leo people in the third house, I feel like you guys, what makes you angry is like when people don't respect your opinions, when people talk over you, when people don't care about what you have to say. Like, that makes you super angry because it first hurts your ego to think like, wow, why are people not listening to me? Why are people not taking my directions, And then, like, you take that shit personally, and then this is the thing that makes you speak even louder. You feel like this is the Mars and Leo who literally can't whisper. You just cannot whisper at all, because you feel like in order to be heard, you need to speak loud. Like, you need to roar as loud as possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot whisper for shit, But it's even more like a situation with your siblings. If you're the firstborn with this, like, you're the leader of your siblings. But if you're the last born, like, you get attention from your mom and your dad the most. So in that sense, like, that also satisfies your ego in that way. Otherwise, if you're the middle child with this, then I think it would still be the same thing where you're still the leader, But either way, like, having Leo in your 3rd house and your 4th house, it's going to make you the leader in the home, or people come to you for some kind of advice or direction from a young age, that type of thing. But yeah, you're just passionate about expressing your opinions, especially to your friends, and you're passionate about communicating. I feel like this is giving photographer vibes also, where you enjoy using technology, because technology is a thing of the 3rd house, the 7th house, and the 11th house, gadgets, because these are forms of communication. So I feel like, on one end, like, you could really be into social media with this, and then you also love being validated by your friends on social media. You just, like, you're fueled and passionately fueled by the motivation of your friends and your siblings, encouraging you. And then in that sense, low-key, it can make you codependent or dependent on, your friends, it can make you dependent on your friends, motivating you, But other than that, I feel like Mars and Leo, you guys are just Mars and Leo in 3rd house is just loud, like, even louder. Like, even louder, bruh. Jeez. But then move on to Mars and Leo in the 4th house, and oh my god, this placement is just hectic. I can already see it, like, oh my god. So you see, Mars doesn't like the 4th house, at all. But having Mars and Leo in the 4th house as a Taurus rising, I feel like you guys, how do I say this? I feel like with this placement, you're somebody who, I want to say on one end, like, you're very emotional with this, and you're even more dramatic with this. But then when you get angry, it's a thing of, like, you can't control your emotions at all. Because, the 4th house deals with your family. 4th house is a water house, so, it's private. It's a private house, only people who are in that house, aka your family, people who are emotionally close to you, only they are aware of your anger. Otherwise, with Mars and Leo in the 4th house, you don't really express your anger outwardly to the public. A lot of people, they may see glimpses of your anger, but it mostly is directed to your family members. Like, you when you get angry, like, you take it out on your family members or whoever is emotionally close to you at the time. So if you're with your best friend and you're close with your best friend, and let's just say something happened to you, like, let's say a teacher maybe disrespected you or something, or said something to you that you didn't like, or let's say you dropped your bag and then you felt embarrassed, you'll blame it on whoever you're with, you'll blame it on your best friend. You will literally blame whatever you just felt on your best friend and be like, why the fuck did you, see me? You just watched that happen. You literally let that happen. This is your fault, and you just get, super weird in that sense, But yeah, your anger is just mostly directed to things and people that you are, emotionally close with, and what makes you angry with this placement, I feel, what makes you angry is if people, obviously disrespect your family members, or disrespect how you feel. Because with this placement, you're very prideful of your emotions. You like to express how you feel, very boldly and dramatically. And what makes you angry is if people don't respect your, how you're feeling, if people don't respect your emotions. What makes you angry is if people don't take how you feel, seriously, and if people don't respect your emotional wishes. You know what I'm saying? That makes you angry. That takes you off. And but once again, you're gonna direct that anger towards your family members or whoever you're emotionally close with. Otherwise you'll just probably hold it in. And if, let's just say, like, you're walking down the street and something happened, like, let's say you went to a restaurant and you wanted to order a takeaway at, like, McDonald's, and then you got disrespected by the security. But let's say you're walking alone, you'll just look at that. I feel like it's giving more, like, you'll give, like, an intimidating look, but you won't necessarily throw the tantrum. But, like, you'll literally hold on to that feeling and throw the tantrum at home, and then express to your mom how your day was so horrible and how everything in your life is just so horrible, and then you get over it. But there's gonna be drama, I feel like this is definitely, like, this placement is giving similar vibes to, like, having a moon in Leo conjuncting your Mars in Leo. Low key, just low key, But I know when you do explode, it's big. Oh my God, it's so big, but it's always directed to somebody that you're close to in the moment, And then what you're sexually turned on by is by emotional closeness, and other people who can express their emotions very freely without feeling awkward about it, That's the vibe with this placement. So yeah. And then moving on to Mars and Leo in the 5th house, right? So this is going to add the double emphasis to that Leo fiery energy, to that drama, to the big dramatics of it all, But I feel like in a nice way, though, because I think with Mars and Leo, because, 5th house represents, your fun, how you have fun and how you enjoy yourself and all of that, everything that I explained in the beginning of the video. So having a Mars and Leo in the 5th house, this just adds on to you being passionate about expressing yourself. And then what would make you angry is if somebody, tries to tell you how you should express yourself. Like, you don't like being around people who are like Capricorn vibes, Or maybe you could actually benefit a lot from Capricorn vibes. Because I know a lot of Leos who have Capricorn best friends. And then you guys kind of help each other. Especially with the Capricorn, like the Capricorn, they kind of learn to be a lot less dry. Because maybe the Capricorn or the Aquarius, they just sit there and they don't try to overshadow the Leo. And then the Leo would enjoy being the only one who's being dramatic and expressive, that kind of thing. But here, I think having a Mars and Leo in the 5th house, like, you're just super passionate about expressing yourself. And what makes you angry is, like, if somebody had to tell you how to express yourself, or, try to stop or put a boundary in your expression, that'll make you super angry, because you're passionate about, like, all the things that you do, like expressing yourself, I'm pretty sure you have a really very messy room with this placement, But I feel like with this placement, like, you're super creative, even more funny. It just makes you even more funny, because I feel like with this, as dramatic as you are, you just look really cute when you're angry. Like, it's giving that energy. You just look so cute when you're angry. And even though it's, like, super big, because it's filtered through the 5th house, of fun and entertainment. So this is for all the Aries rising. Ooh, actually, maybe I'm gonna stick with it, I feel like you're definitely giving, like, but yeah, you're definitely giving, like, super cute vibes when you get angry. Like, you just get super cute when you're angry. Very dramatic, very theatrical too, but so cute when you get angry, It's, like, very childlike. It's like watching a soap opera, actually. Or like watching The Lion King or something. I don't know. Like, just imagine going to the theater, literally, and, like, that dramatized, I think that's the word. I don't know. Is it? I don't know. But the overly dramatized, anger and, the dramatic emotions. Oh my God, that's literally what your anger looks like, But yeah, having Mars and Leo in the 5th house, you guys are just, like, very passionate about having fun, you know. And I don't doubt with this placement you've had many like hookups, you know, you've been on a lot of dates with this placement, you know. Especially if you're a woman, you know, you probably have a lot of guys also attracted to you just because you know how to keep the fun, you know. There's never a dry moment with you, definitely, you know. But what makes you angry also is when people don't appreciate the way that you express yourself, you know. What makes you angry is when people don't, you know, appreciate the fact that you're giving them attention, you know, because Leo is a sign of attention, you know. So you'll feel angry if you're not getting attention, but if you're giving somebody attention and they're not appreciative of it, then you'll feel angry about that. You know, you'll feel like, bruh, don't come here and waste my time. I'm literally giving you my attention. And that doesn't happen often, you know? So appreciate it and give me that attention back. The fuck, you know? So yeah, that's Mars and Leo in the 5th house, you know. I just want to fix my sock. So what else do I want to say about this placement? Yeah, that's about it actually. Mars in Leo in the 6th house, right? So your 6th house rules your habits, your daily habits, anything that you do on a daily basis, you know. Your daily routines, your daily habits, you know, your work, your schedule, how you take care of your body and your health, you know, that's all things Virgo, you know. Your ability to criticize and discriminate things, to see what's not good and what is good for you, you know. So yeah, having Mars in Leo in the 6th house for all the Pisces risings, yeah. So with this placement, I feel like you are somebody, you're very passionate about, like, I feel like, okay, maybe your passions are directed more so when you're at work or when you're being the leader in your daily life, because that's definitely one thing that's a theme for you. Like, daily, you are a leader and you're continuously pushing out your visions and kind of demanding people to live according to your visions and according to the way you see things should happen, you know. So having Mars and Leo in the 6th house, you're passionate about being the leader of your own work, you know, being the leader of your own schedules and your own routines, you know, or at least being the center stage of them, you know. So maybe it's a situation where you might not be a manager at work, but at work you're the person that everybody comes to, you know, to gossip, or you're the person everybody comes to talk about or ask advice to, you know, about how to do something, you know. And then this fuels your passion, and then this fuels your ego, you know, because you're the one, you know, helping people out or telling people how to do something, and then that makes you feel empowered, you know. And then what would make you angry is if there had to be somebody else at work who does this. Like, let's say you've been working at that office or studio, wherever, for like some time now, and then you've obviously cultivated an audience, aka you've gathered around people, you know, to talk with and whatever. And then let's say a new girl comes in, or a new dude comes in, or a new person comes in, and they seem to also have like a fun spunk about them, you know, because then in that sense it'll make you feel like, competition, you know. But mind you, this is all happening at work in your 6th house, you know. So it'll make you feel jealous, and, you know, it'll make you feel like you have competition, you know, because if you feel like, oh no, I'm losing my audience, you know, it's going to trigger you, and that's going to make you angry. That's going to make you feel, you know, pissed off and shit like that. I do know somebody like this, actually. Yeah, but still. And if it doesn't even have to be at work, because you could be someone who's jobless, you know. But let's say you stay at home all day, and all day you hang around your neighborhood and all of that shit, you know. And let's say in your neighborhood, like, you know, on a daily basis, you know, you go out and they know you as somebody who, like, you're the don. Like, let's say people always come to your house to hang out, and this is something that happens on a daily basis, you know. Like, if for whatever reason there's a new person that everybody goes to their house to hang out at, you know, and then the attention is taken away from you, because that's still a thing that happens on a daily basis, you know. So if that attention had to, you know, be taken away from you and then onto that other person, that's gonna make you mad. That's gonna send you mad, and it's gonna make you jealous also, because you're gonna feel like, no, bruh, Like, we were literally having a vibe at my house. Like, why do we have to go to the chick's house when we were literally having fun here? You know, that kind of thing. So yeah, on a daily basis, like, you're just passionate about being a leader on a daily basis, you know, and you're passionate about having fun daily. I feel like this is actually having a Pisces rising with Leo in your 6th house. Yeah, you just have fun on a regular basis, you know. It could also make you angry if people try to, you know, enforce a lot of like obligations that you're not already, like, if you already don't want to be obligated to do something, and if somebody enforces you to do something or obligates you to do something, then that's gonna make you angry. That's definitely gonna make you angry. Ooh. That's gonna make you angry. If somebody tries to make you obligated, or if somebody tries to give you work that you don't already have a vision for yourself. Like, let's say like you've already cultivated a routine around doing arts and being a photographer or being like a chef or something. And if somebody introduces you, let's say even if it's a parent, like an adult, if they say, yay, when you have to start, I don't know, fetching these people from this time, you know, you'll feel really angry about that. Because I think also with this, it kind of, you know, gives you ego battles in terms of like authorities, you know, where you'll have like, you'll have issues with authorities, you know, because you'll feel like, no, why are people telling me what to do when I'm very well capable of creating routines for my damn self, you know? And you will feel like, in fact, I'm in the position where I should be telling you guys what to do. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing, even from a young age, you know. But yeah, guys, that's what it is. But as I say, what makes you angry is just being obligated to follow a routine that you haven't already set for yourself, you know. So yeah, that's Mars and Leo in the 6th, and then Mars and Leo in the 7th house. So 7th house represents, you know, your relationships, how you relate to people on a one-on-one basis. You know, it's how you see yourself through the lenses of other people, you know. So partnerships also, like business partnerships also, you know, we can add that onto that shit too. And what else? 7th house. Yeah, just basically how you interact with people, you know. But having Mars and Leo in the 7th house as an Aquarius rising, you are somebody, this, I actually have a friend with this too. This shit, oh my God. This shit will make you have serious ego battles in your relationships. Like, you probably somebody who, like, if we had to sit down and have a conversation about all the people you've dated, you know, it's just all gonna end badly, you know, because on one end, the Leo energy is at its full in the 7th house, you know, because the 7th house is Libra, and Libra is asleep in the sun, you know. So Libra lacks vitality. So having Leo in the 7th house is very similar to that energy, where it's like your identity or the way that you see yourself and other people is always going to lead you into, you know, it's like taking on the identities of other people. Kind of like Libra energies, as I say, like, because you lack an identity and a self-awareness, you take on the awareness and the identity of other people, you know. But because Mars is here now, Mars in the 7th house, it's not a yoga. Mars does not like the 7th house either, you know, because Mars in the 7th house, Mars is about war, you know. Mars is about, you know, fighting for things. So on one end, you know, you'll have passionate relationships. But on the negative end, it's war, ego battles. Whether it's you, in fact, no, it is you. You're the one in the relationship where you feel like you have to direct the relationship. It's almost like you get into relationships just so you can be the leader of the relationship. So in that sense, it's not fun or it's not nice for the other person, because they just feel like, okay, I'm just dating you just to become your servant or just to become your submissive, passive, you know, follower, you know. And whoever you're dating, they'll feel like, okay, everything is just about you and your interests, you know, and whatever I want is you don't care about, because it's all about you. So in that sense, you suck at relationships. And don't let you have your 7th house lord in like the 1st house or the 8th house, or like shit like the 12th house, bro. Jesus Christ. Because I know with this placement, it's just very difficult for you to, stick to relationships. But you may not necessarily, you don't see it as you being the wrong one. You don't see yourself being the one who causes the problems. But it is, though, because not only... It's like, okay, let me say it like this. You have Mars in Leo. So you already have a big temper. You already are dramatic, But all of that shit is directed in your relationships. It's directed to your relationships and the way that you communicate. So even your communication style is very aggressive. Let's start there. The way that you relate to people isn't necessarily relatable. Because the way that you communicate is more so like you're commanding people to believe what you believe. It's almost like you tell people what to have an opinion about and what to not have an opinion about. And then you direct this, especially in your closer relationships, So unless you have another person who has the same placement, or maybe like a Mars in Leo, then, a Mars in Aries or Sag, then it'll probably work out better. But yeah, dude... Otherwise, not to be weird, but it's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good, especially for, romantic relationships, bro. And I know if we had to sit down, you and me had to sit down and talk about this, I know you're going to tell me that you have issues with dating, And this is probably like something that you learned from your father, where you have issues. You and your father probably also had issues with communicating, because when he communicated, it was just very aggressive and loud and vile. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. So, now you learned that from your father. And when you relate and communicate to people, it's just very aggressive. And then you experience people not wanting to be around you, because they always get the sense that you're trying to, control not only their actions, but control their opinions. You're trying to control their opinions, and you're trying to control everything about them, but even in that sense, like, what makes you angry is if your opinions are also not respected, And most of your anger issues usually come from, relationships. You usually encounter a lot of war in your relationships. If it's not you the one instigating it, then it's you attracting these people. But as I say, because you are the one with Leo energy, it's probably you instigating these arguments. My darling, let's just be honest, But what turns you on is, being around people who are confident, being around alpha people. Especially if you're a girl with this, then you like being around guys who are cocky. You like cocky guys. And if you're a guy with this, you like girls who are a little bit spicy, who are like a little bit dramatic and like, loud and, let me just say spicy. They just have some spice, So yeah, in Leo in the 8th house, right? So the 8th house represents, death and secrets and skeletons under our closets, just anything that we don't want to expose out into the public, because this is a water house too, So having Mars and Leo in your 8th house as a Capricorn rising. So, Mars likes being in the 8th house, So this is kind of similar vibes to having a Mars in Scorpio, where, But the only difference is because, Leo is there, so it shines a light on your 8th house, So it's very easy for people to see your intentions. It's easy for you to see other people's intentions, because this is Leo. This is, ruled by the sun. So this is what the sun pays attention to. There's a light shining on your 8th house, So it's easy for you to see other people's intentions. It's easy for you to kind of sense and also, I guess maybe get the energy of, the hidden agendas of people, and the, I guess, even hidden secrets. I want to say you can, like, low-key sense out people's secrets and what people are hiding. I actually know somebody with this placement. Yeah, I do. But they're very quiet. Like, they're a very quiet person. I don't know if they're going to watch this, maybe you are watching this. But anyway, having a Mars and Leo in the 8th house, these are people who, they can see people's intentions, but sometimes it could be a situation where you're blinded. You could be blinded by, but you could be blinded by, Like it's sometimes like you could only see the intentions that you want to see, but you may not always see the full circumference of what somebody's hiding, you know. And it could be sometimes difficult for you to maybe recognize why someone is hiding something, just because you'll be so overly focused on what they are hiding, you know. But you can see people's intentions with this. And what makes you angry, you know, is if you get the sense that somebody is trying to hide something from you. Because you will feel like, no, being around me, you have to be open and expressive of, you know, whatever it is that you know, want to present to me. Like, you'll feel like people should be, you know, honest about their intentions. And you know what will make you angry is discovering that somebody was hiding something from you. You know, and especially if it's like something life-changing, you know, life-changing information. But yeah, you'll just feel like somebody should be open and not hide shit from you. Because when they do, then that'll make you pissed off and super angry, you know. But yeah. You know, and what turns you on, if you're a girl with this, then you're turned on by Leo guys, just naturally, you know. I think all Leo women with their, like, Leo Mars women are super turned on by Leo sun sign guys, you know. But even more with the 8th house, because, you know, 8th house does rule sex and, you know, a transformation in your sexuality and your deep, dark secrets, you know, and all of that shit, you know. But I actually want to say with this placement, like having Mars and Leo in the 8th house, I feel like, I don't know if I said this before, but I feel like on one end, it's also kind of difficult for you to hide your intentions. Because, like, Leo is literally the sign of, you know, it's ruled by the sun. And the sun illuminates. So this is kind of similar to having your sun in the 8th house. Excuse me. It's very similar to having your sun in the 8th house, you know, where it's like you naturally exude like a mystery and a mysticism to you, you know, like a not weird, but like a mysterious vibe to you, you know. You naturally just exude mysticism. That's the word. Because that's what's being shown, you know. And then people with this, I feel like it's easy for you to be sexualized. So you probably the chick that's always wearing like baggy clothes, you know. Because I know with Leo Mars, you definitely are thick. With women, they thick. You know what I'm saying? You got a booty, you got some nice thighs and shit like that, you know. So you're thick. So if you're like, you know, younger especially, you know, you'll probably be up to hiding your body, wearing baggy clothes or more tomboyish clothes that conceal and hide you, you know. And then as you get older and start to, you know, really own your sexuality, then this is the Mars and Leo in the 8th house who goes overboard, you know, like you show it, like you show it all, bro, like, and you don't mind, because then, you know, that's even a sense of getting attention, you know. But your sexuality will be exuded, you know, and like you'll be okay with that. But I feel like it's a situation where it only happens as you get older, you know, because when you're young, you don't want people to overly sexualize you, because literally the sun is in your 8th house. So people see that, they see your sexuality, you know, they sense it. And especially with guys, then they overly sexualize you, and then they want to do all that, and then you'll feel like, I'm so exposed, let me hide, you know. But yeah, that's Mars and Leo in the 8th house, you know. What else do I want to say? I think that's about it, actually. So we'll move on to Mars and Leo now in the 9th house for all the Leo rising. No, not Leo rising. Sag risings. Mars and Leo in the Mars and Leo in the 9th house for Sagittarius risings. So you guys, I feel you guys are passionate. So wait, let's just discuss 9th house. Your 9th house is, you know, the house of, you know, religion and your spiritual practices and how you know, spiritually connect to God, and, you know, the house of philosophy and travel and learning about different cultures and traditions and religions and different ways of belief, like belief systems. I don't know why I can't speak right now. But yeah, belief systems and, you know what I'm saying, all of that shit, bruh. So having Mars and Leo in the 9th house, I feel you guys are passionate about expressing, you know, your opinions, like you're passionate about teaching, because this definitely also gives you similar vibes to having a Sagittarius Mars, you know, but the only difference is that a Sag Mars is very chaotic. It's very chaotic, bro. You know, but I feel like you could also be chaotic with the situation, because you are Sagittarius rising, and it's making a trine to your Mars in Leo, you know. So you also give intimidating vibes if you have a Sagittarius rising with this placement, you know. But having a Leo Mars in the 9th house, you just become very passionate about, you know, firstly, teaching about your beliefs and your philosophies and your morals. But the way that you teach is very fun. Like, I feel like if you're like a history teacher with this, you're the super fun history teacher, you know, and everybody respects you because you're super fun, and you know, you dress like super bohemian, like, but you're also like, as fun as you are, you're also somebody that people can learn from. You know, you're a great teacher with this because you're also very passionate. You're a passionate teacher with this, you know, and you're willing to fight for your beliefs, you know, because this does make you very stubborn to your beliefs, and you're not necessarily changeable to what you believe, because when you have formed a belief system and you have cultivated a stable belief system that you have, you know, established for yourself, you know, because I feel like all fire signs, you know, to a large degree are very spiritual, just like water signs, you know. But yeah, with this placement, it does make you very, very spiritual, you know. Like, if you're a Christian with this, then you go to church every day, and you love expressing yourself at church, you know, and you love knowing that you're backed up with the support of your faith, and you're supported by, you know, your beliefs, you know. And when people threaten your beliefs or try to change your beliefs, then that's what makes you angry. You know, your anger language will come out if people try to change your belief system, or try to, you know, talk down on your belief systems, you know, because you will feel like, don't disrespect how I connect to God. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get angry, you start getting into, you throw a bitch fit. You definitely throw a bitch fit. But as you're throwing a bitch fit, you probably like, what's the word? Like, I don't know. It's like, as you're throwing a bitch fit, you probably could be the type of person who would like recite like a Bible verse to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, as you're throwing a tantrum, you're just like throwing verses like Ecclesiastics 8 chapter 1, and you throw that at somebody, and it's like, well, damn. Well, damn, bro. Like, what the fuck? You know, and then you throw spirits at people and shit like that. But damn, that's how you get angry, you know. But for the most part, yeah, like, I feel like with this placement, you're just passionate about expressing your faith, you know, and your religious or spiritual beliefs to people, you know. And you're very passionate about, you know, practicing your spirituality or your religion, you know. But I feel like anybody that's watching this isn't so religious, you know. I don't know, but yeah, that's you guys. Mars and Leo in the 9th house, people. You guys are just super passionate about teaching, you know. Also practicing your traditions, like, you know, as I made the example in my last video, like, if you're South African, you know, like me, and you grew up like Xhosa or Zulu or whatever, and then from a young age they taught you about the Xhosa Zulu traditions that, you know, you do, then you become passionate about practicing those things, you know. And you don't like let's say you had to move to Europe or something, and then you had to, you know, hear Europeans talk about how they disagree about, you know, culture and shit like that. That'll make you so mad, bro. That'll make you so mad. Like, so fucking mad, bro. You know? But yeah, and I feel like what turns you on is being around other people or a person that shares the same spiritual views as you and can also speak about their spiritual views in a passionate way, you know? That turns you on. That's your little, you know, those vibes. Yeah, moving on now to Mars and Leo in the 10th house. So 10th house represents your career, your status, you know, your reputation, and your long-term goals, that you want for yourself, really. Anything that you're working towards, that's 10th house shit. So having Mars in Leo in your 10th house as a Scorpio rising, you are just very fueled with the idea of being recognized, because I feel like with this placement, bro, you bound to win, because Mars loves to be in the 10th house. Oh my God, Mars absolutely loves to be in the 10th house, So you love and you are passionate about having a career. You're passionate about having a goal. You're passionate about having a reputation. You're passionate about, working towards your reputation, And what makes you angry is if people try to tarnish your reputation. You will literally fight somebody if they try to disrespect your name, spit on your name or something like that, like your street cred. Because you're passionate about having a street cred, and you're passionate about being known for being who you are. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes and I definitely know with Leo placements, you can get lost in the source of just, being known by so many people. Because having a Leo 10th house, that's definitely somebody you will be famous. You definitely will be famous, but because Mars is here, you'll be famous for, on the negative end, you'll be famous for being somebody who's aggressive. Or you could be famous for being somebody who's passionate about, being creative, or whatever it is that you're into. You could be a presenter with this shit. Whatever it is, even if you're a doctor, bro, you could just get lost in the title rather than the reason why you're doing this in the first place. Like, because in the beginning, you could know, okay, I want to be a musician because I love music and I love creating music. And then along the way, it's definitely, it will be a thing for you to just kind of forget that you're doing this because you love it. Because then you'll get caught up in, oh my God, I'm doing this because I need to maintain my reputation, And then you'll be passionate about maintaining your passion and your reputation, and then lose the fact that you're doing this because you love it, You're only, and for example, like, how sometimes celebrities or musicians, they'll stop making really, really good music. I don't really like this coordination, but whatever. Anyway, we'll just move on. But sometimes, like, how musicians, like, how they make, I don't know, like, they may stop making really good music just because, like, they're only looking at what people want to listen to. Say they stop making music because of the passion or because of the love that they have for it, and then they just start making music just to make money and just to get their name out there. That's definitely something that you can go through too, Maybe not with music. Maybe you don't have to be a musician with this, but whatever field you're trying to go into, it's very likely that you will forget that you're doing something because you love it, and then you'll just get caught up with the fact that you just want your name to be still polished. You want to have a polished name, and you still want to be known as somebody who's, who has money or whatever reputation you already have. You'll just be passionate about having a reputation, You'll just be passionate about gaining a reputation. And then what makes you angry is if people, as I say, tarnish their reputation. But what turns you on is being around other people who have status too. Being around other people who have money too, and who are known for having money, you know what I'm saying? Who are known for having big businesses, who are known for being, a CEO of something. Like, you're turned on by those kind of bosses, especially especially if you're a woman with this, you get turned on by boss CEO kind of guys. But if you're a guy with this, I feel like, it could be the same situation. It could be, or maybe it could be a situation where, you are turned on by women who submit to you because of your status and shit like that, So I feel like with this placement, it's a situation where you're just working, like, especially for guys, how, especially rappers, this is how I see it in my head, is that rappers only become rappers because they want the title for it so that they can get the bitches and the money and all that shit, So I feel like with guys with this placement, you also can get caught up in that shit, where you're only doing it so that you can get the title and have the women and have the money and be known for having the money and the women and all of that, all that shit, bruh. you know. And then even just being rich, that could be something that, you know, fuels your sexuality and your sexual drive, you know. So yeah, what else? Yeah, so that's it for this placement. I feel you guys are just super motivated by having a career, you know. But you know, speaking of coming up, you know, and like, once you, let's say you haven't done anything, like once you've established that you want to do something and that you want to work hard for it, and that you want to have that, you know, eventually be the source of your income and all of that shit, then you'll be super passionate with working hard for it, you know, and seeing it through. And, you know, you'll be super passionate about just wanting to make it come to fruition, you know. And you'll have no problem fueling yourself with the energy to go about it every day grind, every day put in the energy, you know. You'll have no problem with doing that shit, bro. So that's really nice on that end, on that spectrum. And then, yeah, so moving on to Mars in Leo in the 11th house for all the Libra risings, you know. So as a Libra rising, you already have all your signs in their opposite houses. So having Mars in Leo in the 11th house, this definitely will make you somebody who's popular on social media, especially. You know, you probably have a really nice social media page, you know, and you're passionate about, you know, expressing yourself on social media platforms. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're somebody with a YouTube channel and you're a makeup artist. I feel like this is giving makeup artist vibes, totally, especially for the women. And then the guys who, like, I feel like with this, it's like a dude who's into like engineering, like, yeah, it's giving engineering vibes, or IT kind of guys. Yeah, it's definitely giving IT guys, you know. But also for the women, you know, like IT vibes too. I don't know why I'm categorizing that with gender and stuff like that. But yeah, just generally like those themes, like anything dealing with technology and using technology or being a part of technology, you know. Yeah, but having Mars and Leo in the 11th house, because the 11th house, you know, represents, you know, the masses and demographics and, you know, technology, as I said, social media, you know, just connecting with a mass broad of people who are associated with the same topics that you like to associate yourself with, you know. So it also rules your associates and your acquaintances, you know, and people that you associate with because you share opinions, you know. Because the 11th house is the house of the opinions, you know, strong opinions that you are willing to broadcast to the masses, you know, broadly and shit like that. So, having Mars in Leo in the 11th house, I feel you guys are passionate about expressing yourself on social media. You know, you're passionate about expressing your talents, your creativity, your creative outlets all on social media, you know, and you give a lot of your time and your energy and your effort to social media and to your social media platforms. And if not, then you give, like, it's like you like being around new people. Let me just say that, you know, you definitely somebody who likes to go out and, you know, meet new people and associate with new people, you know, and just get to acquaint yourself with new people, because you're really good with people, you know, like you're very good at being relatable and being harmonious and getting attention from the masses, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, in your associates, you may be somebody like people gravitate towards you, you know, because it's just something about you that people want to know about, you know, whether it's you being funny or you looking good all the time, you know, or you I don't know, you just doing something super cool. Like people just want to be associated with you, you know, because they want to fuck with whatever creative outlet you're doing, you know. And then in return, you get fueled from that. You get fueled from people telling you, oh my God, like you're so dope. Oh my God, what you do is so great. Or excuse me, it could even be a situation where what's this? It could be a situation where like you if like let's say you're into IT, you know, you're fueled by the idea that like whatever it is that you do with your gadgets, like let's say you made like a video game or something, you know, you're just fueled with the idea, knowing that your game, whatever game or code that you made, is going to be so dope, so influential and shit like that, you know. It's just going to be really dope. Like that's what fuels you, is knowing that the way that you're going to connect with the masses is going to be big and it's going to be influential, because I feel like with Leo in the 11th house, because the sun is in your 11th house, so low-key gives you Aquarius vibes, Aquarius sun vibes, where, it's like easy for you to associate yourself with people. And it's also easier for you to just be an individual within the masses, But I feel like because Leo is here, you're very, expressive, and you want to express your creativity and your creative matters within the masses. And then that's your way of connecting with the masses and connecting with your associates, And then even in that sense, like, you're fueled and passionate about associating with other creatives and associating with other, I guess, creators, But what would make you angry is if somebody had to maybe like fuck with your social media platforms. Like, that would literally send you. That would send you. You don't like people fucking with your social media platforms. You don't want people fucking with, the things that you've created on social media. You don't want people to fuck with shit. You just don't want people to fuck with anything dealing with your gadgets, even losing your phone. Like, losing your phone, that would probably make you very, very angry. Losing your phone, that would make you very pissed off. You're, So that situation. But yeah, guys, that's Mars in Leo in the 11th house. So yeah, and then moving on to Mars and Leo in the 12th house. So your 12th house represents, your subconscious mind. It represents your dreams, your illusions, your imaginations, and everything and anything that you hide, and things that are in your unconscious mind, everything that's unconscious, because 12th house is a watery house, and watery houses are everything that we hide. But 12th house is like, a little bit more tricky, because it's like something that you hide from yourself. You could hide these things from yourself, or be unaware of these things, from yourself. Like, this is your hidden self, because 12th house also rules, jails and drugs and isolation and all the things we do to isolate ourselves from reality, because this is the dream world, and anything dreamy is far from reality. So having Mars and Leo in the 12th house, it's similar to Pisces sun, but it also adds on to the, the delusion. But I feel like with this, these are the Leos, these are the Mars and Leos who, they are the more quiet ones. Do I know someone like this? Do I know someone like this? Do I know someone like this? Jesus. Mars and Leo. Cancer rising. No, not a Cancer rising. Virgo risings. Oh yeah, Virgo. Ooh, shit. Okay, so having a Mars and Leo in the 12th house. I feel like this placement, like, as I say, okay, as I always say with 12th house, all these things come out when you're drunk and high. Like, only when you get drunk and when you get high do people experience, your drama and how funny you are, and how creative you are. So you could be, the person that you love doing your art drunk, because then or even if you're a comedian or whatever it is that you do, you love doing it a little bit tipsy, or, taking a shot or something, doing whatever it is that you do, like, that's creative, you like doing it on maybe smoking weed or taking a shot or something, because then your creative Leo energy comes out the most, because other than that, or maybe when you're alone, like when you're completely alone, all alone, you're isolated, then that's when your unconscious Leo 12th house Mars comes out, But because Mars is here, I feel like it's gonna make you aggressive. So when you get high and drunk, you become super aggressive. Like, you become aggressive with wanting attention, especially if you're dating somebody with this, like, then it's like, damn. See, you're the person that people have to go like, nangulo, utagi. When you get drunk, be like, here's this drunk bitch. Because you come here wanting to fight people, because all of your anger is repressed, or it's hidden, but mostly repressed. So you also the Leo Mars 12th house where, your anger only comes out, as I say, when you're drunk, or when you go to bed and, go to sleep, then you dream about you fighting somebody, because everything that I listed about all the Leo signs, you also experience those things, but it's more so unconscious to you, you know. So you also suppress that. Whenever you feel anger, you suppress it. You keep quiet about it, and then people don't know that you get angry, and people don't know what makes you angry, you know, because you suppress all of that shit, and then it only comes out when you're drunk. Then it's like, now you have something to say. Then you have, you know, then you want to give somebody a piece of your mind. Only when you get drunk. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, then you suppress it all. Like, you literally swallow it all up, and then you keep it hidden, and then people don't know about, you know, your anger, or what makes you angry, or what makes you, you know, what turns you on, or whatever, or what makes you tick, you know. Yeah. Unless you're with somebody who's a Leo sun, because then they can see that, you know. But other than that, like, even you, to a large degree, you can be unconscious of your own anger until you get tipsy or drunk, you know, or until you're alone, and then you start to feel all those feelings, you know. And then when you do express it to people, it's like, dude, what the fuck? We didn't know that made you angry. We didn't even know that shit, you know. But once with this placement, you're definitely very creative. Oh my God, even having Mars, yeah. So you could be passionate about also expressing your imagination, you know. So whether you paint or something, you're very passionate about painting, you know. And then what would make you angry is if somebody had to like tell you how to be creative or how to direct your creative abilities. Or let's say you haven't even started with creating something, you know. Let's say you just like to live and imagine things, you know. You'll get mad if somebody tells you like, yo, dude, do something about your imagination, you know, because Leo energy doesn't want to be told. So that'll make you angry. Somebody had to make you feel like they're forcing you to do something about, you know, being more creative or outwardly expressing your imagination, your creativity, you know. Yeah. And then what makes you turned on is just also like, what I feel like you turn yourself on by imagining scenarios in your mind about what could happen, you know. And then in a large way, you kind of project that to whoever it is that you're crushing on, and then you expect them to live out that fantasy. And then when they don't, then, you know, it also makes you angry, or it disappoints you, or it crushes your illusion and your imagination. And then that could also make you angry, you know. But then once again, your anger will only come out once you're drunk and once you had something to, you know, something to intoxicate you, you know. So I feel like it's definitely giving somebody who you would only drunk, like you're a drunk texter. You're definitely a drunk texter with this, you know. Yeah, I definitely see it. But other than that, yeah, that's it for Mars in Leo. That's the video. So I'll see you guys in my next video where we'll talk about Mars in Virgo, my placement. Yeah. So guys, yeah, I'll see you in my next video, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and do the things, you know, support the girl. Yeah, bye.